Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. Hey all, Friday Fraud Law Review. Okay, this one is again, people stealing dead people's Social Security for themselves after they're deceased. Okay, so here we have it. So, this is the Middle District of Florida, although it was a South Carolina man. Not sure how that happens. Okay, out of Tampa anyway. This fella has been convicted because this is actually a sentencing. Albert Bayer, Bayer, age 64, of South Carolina. Formerly, okay, I got it. Formerly of Hillsborough County, Florida. So I think he did it in Florida and then hightailed it up to South Carolina at some point thereafter. So it was the Florida area that actually did the prosecuting. Okay, that district. Okay, so the lovely Mr. Bayer, not so much. He landed himself 1 year and 1 day in federal prison for the theft of government funds. He also has to pay back over $76,000 in proceeds of the offense. And this is a real short report from the OIG, and it was dated June 27th. So it's a few days ago. We are now in July. Okay, according to court documents, his wife, her initials were LD. Don't need more than that. She was receiving Social Security disability insurance benefits, and she passed away early 2015. He never reported her death to the Social Security Administration, and I'm not necessarily sure he has to. Don't quote me on that, but normally we're not forced to do things with regard to other people's things, even necessarily when it's our spouse. However, when the SSA continued to make the benefits to her, and he obviously had access to those funds, apparently, he used those funds. So that's where he got himself really, I think, in the pickle by not so much that he didn't know to call them or didn't care to call them. They have to kind of figure things out sometimes on their own. Usually, we've talked about this before, usually a funeral home. I'm not sure about a coroner's office, but usually a funeral home, if they are hired by the family for a funeral, viewing, wake, whatever you want to call it, cremation even, a lot of them, there's a lot of agreements with the SSA to report the death so that this can be halted, the payment of these things. But apparently that's another form of fragmentation in this country. But he continued to collect her monies from shortly after, the month after she died, when she wasn't eligible for that month's benefit that would have been from the month prior to June of 2023. So literally exactly like a year ago, must have been when he got nailed. And he used them obviously for his own personal expenses, and she could no longer use them for herself. And he wasn't using them for her, which it is possible that when she was on disability, maybe he was having access as a married spouse to take care of her. Maybe she couldn't get in there and pay the mortgage, so he did it because they're a couple. But once she passed, that money's it's not yours anymore. So not that it ever was, but if you're a couple, sometimes that's your arrangement, and that's fine. So apparently he knowingly and willfully stole approximately $76,547 in benefits to which he was not entitled. He's going to prison for a year and day. All righty. I think that's probably appropriate. Should it be more? I can't necessarily say it should be. That's a pretty long time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should it be more? You know how I get pretty hard and heavy on some of these fraudsters. I guess I'd love to see more details about this because it's a really, really short article. I will put it in the comments. And then I might be like, yes, he should have 4 years, but who knows? It's not even like he's the oldest perp we've ever seen. He's 64. But anywho, all right, that's it, guys. That's the South Carolina man indicted in Florida and convicted and sentenced in Florida. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.